Hello there, I thought it was time to have a little bit of a natter. I've not had a natter for a while. In fact, I've not posted much for a while. I've been busy at a certain time of year. Anyway, I'm going to have a little chat about one of my favourite parts of art. And my favourite part of art is portraiture. And I really enjoy drawing faces. And here is an example of the style of work that I have come up with over the years. You can just about see that there. We've got lots of reflections, but you can just about see it. That's my family. Okay, and I've created this sort of style which is semi-realistic, semi-caricature, and it's adapted over the years. Normally I just do of one person in a picture. This was actually quite a big adventure for me because obviously I've got 7 people, which puts a little bit of pressure on when you're doing it, because you've got to get all 7 correct and looking like the people. It's quite a big challenge, and I tend to sketch out the image first and then I just work into it with watercolour paint. I will, after I've done this little speech, put a little video on to show you how I've done my latest one, which was a gift for someone's birthday. You'll guess how old he is when you see the picture. Now, just want to mention how this all started. This started scarily nearly 20 years ago. Okay, at this time of year, and it was a Christmas present, and we used to, as members of staff at school, we used to do pixieing, where you gave presents to a certain person during the last week of term, and the last present I always gave was a portrait of the person dressed as a pixie. And it sort of gave the game away as who was given these presents, because it was all done very secretly. But it's this has evolved, and hopefully you can see on here now, if I just get this here, it's ended up, I do more now, people who leave the school. Whenever they leave the school, I tend to do them a portrait as a leaving present. There are others as well that I do for friends and family, but just looking at these, it's actually quite incredible when I look back at all the different people who I've worked with, etc., and produced a picture for. The earliest one I found is 2003, but I do know I did some even before that, but I don't, it's a great shame I don't have the photographic evidence anymore. But that just gives you an idea of the sort of things and the style that I've adapted and developed over these years. Okay, and I just like to do it. I think it's a little bit of a memento, certainly for people who leave. I have unfortunately missed a handful due to me being off school really when they left, which was a great shame. But it was just one of those sad things, unfortunately. But I have done quite a few, and as far as I know, the majority like what they get, as far as I know. Okay, I tend to get some quite good feedback actually, which is quite nice. And I think it's just a little special thing just to give someone once they've finished at school, a little memento. Anyway, I'm just going to show you this next video, which really shows how I go about producing one of these portraits. It takes about 2.5 hours altogether to do one. Obviously this one took a little bit longer. Okay, but when I'm just doing one, I tend to do it on a 10 by 8 size picture frame, for if it's just a one person one. It takes about 2.5 hours. Always sketch it first, and then I actually leave it overnight before I start to paint it, because when you come back the next day with fresh eyes, you often see where you've made mistakes and you just need to tweak things and change things before you start painting. And little tailor tip, obviously when you're doing a portrait, I always start with the face. In fact, even more so, I always start with the eyes. You don't get the eyes right, you don't get the picture right. Okay, you've got to get those eyes absolutely spot on, and you'll see in the video how I will start with the eyes of the person, and then I'll gradually build up round the face and work my way outwards. Okay, it's just in fact it's a style I use with any sort of drawing. Whenever I'm drawing anything, start in the middle, work your way out. I find that the easiest way. If I started by drawing the shape of the face, you limit yourself, and you tend to have difficulty with proportion when you're putting the detail in. But if you start in the middle, go outwards, you find it a lot better. Anyway, I'm going to show you this video now as well, and it just shows how I go about, first of all, sketching out the image and then painting it with basic watercolour paints bought from the Works bookshop. You don't need to spend a lot of money to get good equipment. And a lot of money doesn't make you a better painter or drawer. You work with what you got. Okay, here we go. Thank you for listening. Oh, and happy Christmas.